And then also wanted to just confirm that it typically takes about 30 minutes to do this call. So wanted to make sure that you still had about that time to do that. So, okay. And then, even if we run a little bit over, I don't have a super hard stop because my next call, there's like, I've got a little bit of buffer in there, but I think we should be good to keep it to 30 minutes. So, all right.
Good. Yeah.
Okay, awesome. Terrific. And then to give you an overview of like how I structure these calls, you took the time out to fill out my questionnaire ahead of time. And I reviewed it, and I also looked at your LinkedIn profile. So I'm going to start off by asking you even more questions. All right, because I want to make sure I understand what your current situation is and where you're at right now and where you want to go. All right, and what the challenges are that you may encounter or have encountered already. And then we'll look at your LinkedIn profile together so I can give you feedback on that. And then the last thing is, if you want to know about my services, like why do my clients hire me? You know, why do they decide to invest the time and the energy and the money in working with me? I'm happy to go over that with you as well. All right.
Yeah, great. Perfect. Makes perfect sense.
Good. Wonderful. Okay. So my first question is, why did you decide to block out the time to talk with me? And what's the most important thing that you would like to get out of our time together today?
Okay, so first of all, I'm a fresh graduate, right? And when you graduate, you have lots of opportunities. You have whole potential, but you don't know which branch to take on, right? And there are lots of dilemmas that fresh graduates have to go through. So it's quite essential for every fresh graduate or the person who is about to graduate and come into proper industry experience. They require some mentoring. They require some direction from experienced professionals. Kind of career counseling type thing. So I think that's the first reason I scheduled. I got a booking with you. And the second question was.
The second question was, like, at the end of this 30 minutes that we spend, like what's like the most important thing that you would like to get out of our time?
Important thing is gonna be my LinkedIn profile, to go to the specific recruiters that are job hunting, especially corporate giants, tech giants who are looking for a fresh graduate with high potential. So and the last thing, to give me the reason for that might give me the reason to stay in the specific field and to pursue my goals. And yeah, that's pretty much it.
Okay. Awesome. Very good. Very good. Okay. And then the other thing is, when I was looking at your profile, so yeah, you had said, well, when I was reviewing your questionnaire, so you've been actively interviewing with a lot of companies right now, currently?
Yeah.
Like how long have you been looking for, and how many interviews have you had? I'm trying to get a sense for the volume, like what kind of activity you've had.
So if we talk about the last month, the month of July, I had like given 8 to 9 interviews, and I got like acceptance rates of 80% from those. But I was still undecisive which specific field or which specific industry is gonna cure my disease for lying in the specific field. That's what the thing I can find in.
Yeah. Okay. Oh, and you were garbled up a little bit when you were talking, and I realized, let me go ahead. I'm going to switch to another Wi-Fi here, and I want to, so if for some reason I drop or we drop, just come right
Okay.
back into the call. All right. So hold on
Great.
for a second. All right. It looks like it
Yeah.
worked out okay. So, all right, good. Okay, so again, 8 to 9 interviews then in the month of July. And had you been, is that when you started? Like, was the beginning of July, would you say?
Yeah, it was beginning. I think I lost you again, Christine. Hello. I think Christine, I think I lost you for a while.
You
Please go.
did,
Yeah,
you did, but I'm back now. I think it'll be okay. I think it'll be stable.
no worries, no worries. Okay, so you mentioned that you questioned about yeah, it was the first start of July. The most probably the first week of July, and since
Yeah.
then I am still looking for opportunities in the tech, corporate side, the tech giants especially.
Okay, so let me ask you these next 2 questions too. So I think I know the answer already from what you have said, but when we do a job search, it's important to have a target, right? Or have, and sometimes people are looking, they might look at 2 types of jobs, okay, which is fine. That's part of their strategy. But for your target, that next role that you're looking for that target, how would you rate your clarity on that on a scale from 1 to 10, with 10 being the crystal clear? I mean, you can almost touch it and taste it. That's how clear it is.
As in, if you're talking about job that I'm going to work in, field
Yes, your target, that ideal, that next role that you're trying to get, how would you rate your clarity on it?
I think 80%, because 80% is the time when you start getting into the hang of the things, how they're going to work out. And because most of the times when people ask for, they hire for the specific role, they are not into it. They start grasping into another departments or departments that were not mentioned in the job description. So I think 80% would do.
Okay, all right, good. And then my next question for you is, how would you rate your clarity on your personal and professional brand on a scale from 1 to 10?
I'd say 70%.
70%? Okay, all right. Okay. All right. Okay. So then how would you describe your brand? If I like met you in the elevator, I'm like, so tell me about your personal brand. Like, what do you feel like? How are you invaluable to companies? Like, what, if you had to describe your brand in a sentence or 2, how would you describe it to me?
Okay, so the first thing I think I have a good brand value is that I'm good at talking to people. With lots of people I can talk to. I have good sense of communication skills. I have good negotiation skills. Maybe when we're talking about dealing with customers, when we're trying to deal with our stakeholders or investors and so on, I think I am good at that point. And when it comes to making technical discussions or technical decisions, I'll be really honest. I think I tend to overthink sometimes over those, although they are not so important, but still they're part of the job or so. So yeah, these technically are the things that I consider myself to be good at, and some of the things that I consider to be trying to improve on. So
Yes. Okay. Okay. All right. All right. Let's look at your LinkedIn profile now. Let's go to that. I have it open here because I was looking at that too. Okay. I need to share my screen. Here we go. Okay, so you can see it, right? It's coming across. All right, Excellent. Okay, so I would say, I mean, when I looked at this, I thought it was decent. I mean, it got a flavor. What I liked here, I think your headline is pretty good. Okay. You got like some good keywords in here. I guess my question for you is just to make sure it's important. And that's why I asked the question on the clarity on your job target. Okay. Because when I'm working with my clients, I'm really poking at them a lot. Like we start working on, well, first of all, they really have to be clear on their brand, on their personal brand. So since you're a 7, I would want you to be higher. I would want you to be a 9. Okay. There's no reason why you can't be a 9 or a 10. Okay. Because if you're not super clear on your brand, how are you going to be able to sell your brand, to sell yourself in an interview, or even in trying to get a conversation with a hiring manager, okay, or trying to connect with a hiring manager, okay? You need that conviction in your brand, so we start working on that right away. And part of that is also making sure the brand is coming, their unique, one of a kind brand is coming across in their LinkedIn profile. Okay. That's so urgent. And then also to the resume. I mean, the resume, I'm not discounting the resume. It's just that, recruiters are on LinkedIn all the time. They're searching it. I mean, it's a very tight job market. Like how many, let me ask you this. Do recruiters contact you because they see your profile on LinkedIn? Okay. All right.
How many people?
And then, yeah, tell me how many, like how is the volume? Like how many calls do you get or how many contacts do you get from recruiters?
Since the month of August began, in the first week, I had like 6 to 7 text messages every week. We are giving away half of the ownership if you come and join us. We're giving away, as I'm working in typically blockchain industries, so they're willing to give up some tokens to us or, shares of the company if we work for them, if I work for them.
Yeah. Mhm.
And they are willing to give, a hybrid or remote work position as well. And a couple of other benefits that the company technically offers to the senior executive members. So if you're talking about reaching out to reached out from different recruiters around the globe, yeah, that's a pretty good thing. I'm getting a pretty good response as well.
And you're like, I mean, because I have talked with people who it's not just getting contacted by recruiters, but getting contacted by recruiters regarding opportunities that you're interested in. So it sounds like then you are getting the recruiters to contact you regarding the things that you want. So,
Exactly.
Okay. That's good. Yeah. Cause that's like the easiest part of a job search. Like it's possible. It's very possible. Like if your LinkedIn profile is fully optimized and you have a lot of traffic from recruiters contacting you, then that makes it possible to land a role without having to do a lot of networking, like going out and making new connections or submitting your resume. It makes it super easy. It's like, wow, this is like, I didn't even have to do a job search and I got a new job, so you want to make sure you're maximizing that. And again, like looking at the keywords that you have in your headline, I think that's probably why, because it's important to have. So again, if you feel like these keywords are part of your brand, that's a good thing. And then matching you up, like having a plan, having a clear target. So that's the second thing, is making sure that not only you have the clarity on your brand, but you know why you are the solution to the problem. All right. Like your ideal job, the jobs that you are targeting in the market as you go out and you look. Okay. think of every job opening as a problem. All right. It's a problem. And by you being in that job, you are solving that problem. Okay. So with that, you just need to make sure you're illustrating how you are the solution to the problem, or another way of looking at it is, think of yourself as the bait for a fish. The fish is that ideal job that you're going after. Not just any bait will do for that fish. And again, it has to be a good match. So that's important as well. So that's the second thing I work on with my clients, is just to make sure not only is their brand reflected in their profile and their resume, but we have the clarity, we have a clear plan on what we're going after, because there's all these jobs in the market that are open right now. And even, marketing people understand this. You can't be all things to all people. You have to have your targeted messaging in your job search, So we have a very focused approach, because it's important. We don't want to spend hours and hours and hours on your job search. It's not a good thing. Now, Black 360. So tell me about, so you're working for Black 360 full-time right now, is that correct?
Yeah.
All right. How many hours a week are you putting in on that?
Per week, it's like 40 hours a week and 160 hours a month. So
Yeah. Okay. All right. Yeah, because that's the other thing too, is as you're doing a job search and looking for other opportunities, you want to make sure you're balancing, because you have this commitment to Black 360 to make sure you're doing a good job for them. And it's just important to balance it, and there's also so many job search activities that can be a waste of your time. And that goes back to having a solid plan. So I make sure I work with my clients to make sure that we're optimizing their time. We use the 80-20 rule, the Pareto principle, because 20% of your efforts will get you 80% of your results. So it's really focusing in on those activities. Okay, so getting back to your profile, good profile photo. The banner makes sense because you're at Black 360. I guess I would say I feel like something is missing, because I want to know more. Although I will say your about section was good. I would say maybe even I think that you could make it even more representative of your brand, and you do have, I'm glad you have good information in here. So this is helpful. I think, and it's a process too. It's not like you get it perfectly overnight, it's like writing a book, and it's evolving. So it's definitely, it's better than many that are out there, but I think that there still could be a way to have your brand shine through even more. I do like what you have for Black 360, so that's good. And then I like how you have this listed. But there are things too, like, and I also too, it's good that you're using the featured section, so that's good. So yeah, so some good things. I just think that, and I'm not surprised that you do have recruiters calling you. I think there's still an opportunity to maximize it even more. Absolutely. So, and with you working, 40 some hours a week, I think it's really important to make sure you're not wasting your time on job search activities. So, the last thing I'm trying to remember now, if you had, I don't think oh, yes. Okay, there. Okay, good. Yeah, these are good. I did like seeing the recommendations. if you can have any recommendations from this year too, from 2022, that would be a good thing. So try to, I didn't see any from this year, so, but that's good that you have these. So yeah. Okay, so is that helpful?
Yeah, that's a TBH. That's a to be honest thing. You were awesome.
Well, I want to make sure because you said you really wanted that feedback on your LinkedIn profile. So, and that's important. So yeah, so if we were to work together, we would definitely jump right into your LinkedIn profile and maximize it even more. And then also jump into your resume right away to make sure that is, again, your brand is coming across in there. And then we would look at your network and what you've got going on, and again, how to best leverage your time. Connection really at job search. I think we complicate job searches because it really comes down to connecting through conversation with hiring managers, looking them in the eye and just really talking with them and, and getting to know them, because we're looking for those win-win situations.
Exactly.
So,
True.
yeah. So, so did you want to find out more about how I work with my clients? What questions do you have? I want to make sure I answer all your questions.
I think you pretty much have answered. I mean, like 95% of the questions that are quite critical in job hunting and finding the right recruiter's response. I think that has catered almost every question I had or I was about to have regarding my LinkedIn profile and regarding selling yourself at the right point. So that's the most important. I have jotted down some points as well in my sticky notes. I'll surely be going through them.
Excellent. That's great. Terrific. Awesome. All right, cool. So what do you think at this point, Shabazz? Would you like me to work with you? Because I think we could do a great job. We could get your LinkedIn profile to a 9 or a 10 and your resume, and then really making sure that we're leveraging your time fully in, working over 90 days. So in working together, the way I work is I do one-on-one coaching with my clients. So when we work together for 90 days, it's 12 weekly one-on-one coaching sessions, in addition to optimizing your LinkedIn profile and optimizing your resume. So those things in addition to the calls. And then if we do get you a position in less than 90 days, which definitely happens with my clients, then we use the remainder of our time to make sure we're helping you be as successful as possible in your new role. So yeah.
Perfect. That sounds quite, possible to work on. I definitely have, possibility to work on it. Maybe almost a month after my 3 months contract completion, I might get back to you because I have quite some tech hunting, corporate sector hunting, big names like Deloitte, EY, KPMG, sort of. That's where I'm looking forward for my placement in the near future. So as soon as I'm done with my contract in the end of September, I definitely am going to reach out to you. Yeah.
All right, great. I will put you down then for the end of September. And then in the meantime, if you have any questions before then, I will also send you my follow-up email. It's like a recap email of this call that has the recording. And then all I ask is if you could just reply back to confirm that you received it, that it came through. So, okay. And of course, if you have questions.
Great. Christine, we do have, some regular sessions as well, as guest speaker sessions within our company. I would love if you could, come in and, just give some kind of a short awareness lesson for like 15 to 20 minutes. If you could, not like, just for helping fresh graduates that what are the key roles that you work in, how to get those, just kind of 15 to 20-minute session to our, to our new hirings, to our old hirings and so on.
I'd be happy to. That would be wonderful. So, yeah.
We have like quite good people who are looking forward for such opportunities because they lack such opportunities. So yeah, that would be perfect.
All right. Awesome.
Yeah.
Cool. All right. Well, thanks again for your time. And then, yeah, like reach out to me on, when you'd like me to speak and we'll go from there. So, okay.
Great. Thank you, Christine. Thank you so much. More power to you. God bless you. And please stay in connection. We might have, a lot of sessions, a lot of things coming up. So we're going to work
That
together on
sounds
those.
good.
Yeah.
All right. All right. Take
Thank
care.
you. Take care. Have a
Bye.
nice
You too. Bye now.